Hello dear learners! Welcome to our mathematics class.
Let's start first in addition and subtraction of decimals. Steps in adding decimals. For step 1, write the numbers such that the decimals are lined perfectly. For example, 32 hundredths plus 12 and 965 thousandths plus 1 and 1 tenths. So we are going to line up the numbers, the given decimals, and then make sure that decimals are lined perfectly. Next, we have, for step 2, put zeros equals to the other decimal number length, which makes it a decimal number. Next, we have, now add the decimal numbers and find the output to addition. So we will be having 14 and 385 thousandths as our sum. Let's have another example. We are going to align and then put zeros, and the result is 67 and 12 hundredths. Another example is, first, we are going to align the decimals and put zeros to make it equal, and then find the sum. We will be having 30 and 231 thousandths. So that is how we add decimals. Next, let's proceed to steps in subtracting decimals. For step 1, write the numbers such that decimals are lined perfectly. For step 2, write zeros in the places whenever the length of decimal numbers is not the same. So we have to write zeros to make them the same, and then proceed in subtraction. For step 3, subtract the decimal and find the output to subtraction. So our result will be 1 and 38 hundredths. Another example is 54 and 2 tenths minus 23 and 21 hundredths. So we will align them vertically with aligned decimals and put zeros to make it equal. Then proceed to subtraction. So this time, we will be regrouping 5. 5 will become 4, and then 0 will become 10. Then proceed to subtraction. 10 minus 1, 4 minus 2, 4 minus 3, and 5 minus 2. The result will be 31 and 29 hundredths. Another example is, so we have to make them align the decimals and put zeros to make them equal. Then we have to regroup 4. So we have 3 and then 9, then 10. And proceed to subtraction. And our result will be 152 and 87 thousandths. Remember that we will still follow the rules in subtracting whole numbers in regrouping. Next, let's proceed to multiplication and division of decimals. Steps in multiplying decimals. So first, we are going to line up the numbers on the right. Do not align the decimals this time. So we will be writing the numbers, line up the numbers on the right, just like in what we are doing in whole numbers. Then, starting on the right, multiply each digit in the top number. So we have 5, we have to multiply them in the top number to 1, 2, 3, and 2. So we will be having 11,605. For step 3, do the same procedure on the next bottom number, which is 4. So we will be multiplying 4 to the bottom number, and then we'll be having a result of 9,284. For step 4, we are going to add the partial products. So to add the partial products, we will be having a result of 104,445. Now, since we have 3 decimal places in our multiplicand and 1 decimal place for our multiplier, we are going to add them. So we will be having 4 decimal places for our product. This is how we are going to do it. So we will count 4 places starting from the right going to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the decimal point will be after 0, the 4th place of the product. So we will be having a product of 10 and 4,445 and thousandths. Remember to count on the decimal places on the multiplicand and multiplier for the final decimal place of your product. Next, let's have another example. If we have 8 and 10 and 2 tenths, multiply by 2 and 3 tenths, so we have to arrange them vertically to the right. So we will first multiply the first digit, the 3, will be having a result of 246. Next, we proceed to multiplying 2. For the second partial product, we will be having 164. So add the partial products, we will be having 1,886 as our product. Since we have 1 decimal place in our multiplicand and 1 decimal place for our multiplier, our decimal point will be in between 8 and 8, 2 decimal places. Another example is 3 and 27 hundredths times 200. So we have to arrange them, but this time, since we have zeros in here, we proceed to multiplying our whole number 2 to the bottom number. So we will be having 654. This is a shortcut way or short method. So the easy method, so we will be multiplying 2 to the upper number, and then just count the number of zeros that we have. So since we have 2 decimal places, we will put the decimal point after 4. So we have 2 decimal places. So if you will be encountering another number which consists of 0, just multiply the first digit and then count the number of zeros. But remember to count also the number of decimal places you have for you to follow or for you to have the final decimal point. So that is how we multiply decimals. Next, let's proceed to steps in dividing decimals. So we have the first one. Step 1 will be write the problem in the traditional long method. Next, step 2, move the decimal point in the divisor to the right of the divisor. Okay, next we have for step 3, move the decimal point to the same number of places in the dividend. Since we move 1 place in our divisor, we will be moving 1 place also in our dividend. So move the decimal point in the dividend. Next is write the decimal point on the top, same as dividend, and then divide as usual. Okay, that is how we divide decimals.
If you have questions or clarifications about the topic, just write it in the comment section and I'll find time to answer it. Thank you.